वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह मेरा नाम गुरशरण कौर साथी मैनेजर फ्रॉम Sunwell PCT ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਹੈਲਥ ਟਾਕ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਔਨ ਦ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਆਫ ਇਮਿਊਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਅਪੋਲੋਜੀਜ਼ ਆ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਟਾਕ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨਰਸ ਕੰਸਲਟੈਂਟ ਮਿਸ਼ੈਲ ਲਾਰੈਂਸ Sunwell PCT ਤੋਂ ਆਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਮਿਊਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ I will try to translate a little bit ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਪੈਸੀਫਿਕਲੀ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਇਮਿਊਨਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਅਨਕਲੀਅਰ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਦੀ ਟਾਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਿ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੋਰ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਾਅਦ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੋਨ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ I'll give my number at the end. So welcome Michelle. We are now today talking about immunization and the importance of immunization for our youngsters and other population.
Yes.
Could you tell us what do we mean by immunization, please?
Yeah, immunization is purely a way of ensuring you get protection without actually having the disease itself. Right, so it's a vaccination introduced to the body that will offer protection.
Okay. We know primary vaccination rates are quite good in Sunwell, 95% roughly.
Yeah.
And it's the preschool boosters that are slightly lower that we need to work on a little bit more in Sunwell, isn't it? So if we talk about immunization, if diseases are sometimes now eradicated, that those diseases aren't that common anymore, why do we still need to be immunized against them?
Yeah, we get this question a lot. If we don't see the disease, then why bother vaccinate?
Yes.
And it's because we vaccinate why we don't see the disease. So the minute we stop vaccinating, we'll see those diseases re-emerge. Okay. So it's very important that everybody gets vaccinated. Okay. And we're getting a lot of travel as well. So people are going to countries where perhaps the vaccination rates aren't as good.
That's right.
And they'll bring the diseases back to the country. So it's important everybody everywhere gets vaccinated.
Okay. So Michelle ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ even though ਕਈ ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਾਮਨ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਪਰ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਜ਼ ਸਟਿਲ ਵੈਰੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਕੰਟਰੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਐਂਡ ਵਿਦ ਦੈਟ ਸਮਟਾਈਮਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੂਜੀ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਤੋਂ ਡਿਜ਼ੀਜ਼ਸ ਜਾਂ ਜਰਮਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਾਪਸ ਇਸ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਲਿਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ so thank you for that. Are there any medical reasons why certain people or babies should not be vaccinated?
Yeah. There are very few reasons, if any, why people shouldn't be vaccinated. So if a child's had a vaccination before and they've had an anaphylactic reaction, a bad reaction to the vaccine that requires them to go to hospital, then we wouldn't give them the vaccine. And really, that's probably one of the only reasons.
Okay.
Another reason might be if a child's on, say, cancer treatment, then the vast majority of vaccines are absolutely safe.
Okay.
Because they're inactivated vaccines. But live vaccines like the BCG and MMR, if a child's on cancer treatment, we wouldn't give them. We'd wait for them to recover and then we would give them the MMR vaccine after
right,
that.
Okay. Michelle ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਤਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਪਰ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਬੇਬੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਲਾਈਵ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਲਾਈਕ MMR ਐਂਡ BCG ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਵਾਉਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਦੀ ਅਦਰ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਫੋਲੋ ਔਨ ਸਬਸੀਕੁਐਂਟ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਆਰ ਨਾਟ ਓਕੇ ਫॉर ਦੋਜ਼ ਕੈਟੇਗਰੀਜ਼ ਆਫ ਬੇਬੀਜ਼ ਆਈ ਗੈਸ okay so why do babies who are on cancer treatment not offered these two vaccinations?
Yeah, if they're on cancer treatment, they're already immunocompromised. Their immune systems are already being affected.
Right,
so
okay.
if you have an inactivated vaccine, it's a kill virus, that's absolutely fine. They can have that vaccine. But if it's a live virus, the way our bodies work, you respond to that virus in that vaccine. And because their immune system's low, they might have a bit of an overreaction and cause them to get quite ill.
Okay. Some people always wonder that, why do babies have to be vaccinated so early on in life? I mean, they're only a few weeks old when the first dosage, I guess, is offered to them. So if you could explain that to us a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, the program is in the UK and elsewhere in the world that babies get vaccinated at 8 weeks, and that's very important.
Okay.
The mum's maternal antibodies, she will offer the baby some protection, but by 8 weeks a lot of that protection will go for a lot of these illnesses. And babies are brand new, they've never been exposed to any infectious diseases, so it's important we protect them as soon as we can, which is 8 weeks. That's the best time.
Okay. So We know that most vaccinations are safe. All of them are safe, actually. There has been, although, some media concerns about MMR and the possible link to autism. So could you tell us a bit more about, is there any truth in that, or is it complete myth, the link between MMR and autism?
Yeah, I'm glad you raised this, Gershran. Just to reiterate, vaccines are very safe. They're extremely safe, and they're much safer than actually catching the illness itself.
Sure.
But in the case with measles, mumps and rubella, the MMR vaccine, there was some controversy around 10 years ago, and it was based around a particular paper that says there was a link to MMR and autism.
Okay.
That has absolutely been refuted. There's no evidence to suggest that MMR causes autism. And if we look at the basic figures, MMR has been given in over 40 countries, and it's been given in over 25 years. And there's been millions of doses given, and we don't see those incidences of autism. So to say that MMR causes autism, it's absolutely a myth. So MMR is absolutely quite safe in that respect, and millions of children have had it and have had no ill effects from the vaccine.
So could it be that there is a link maybe in the age of, when MMR is given and when autism trends or traits might be picked up, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're trying to get at in that when we give the first MMR vaccine, they're actually 30 months old, and that's the time a lot of the babies are starting to learn to walk and to talk. And I should imagine that if a child is going to become autistic, and when you think back to when that child become autistic and what happens around that time, a lot of parents often associate it with, well, actually they had a vaccine at that time, that's the only thing they can remember. But there is absolutely no relationship between autism and MMR vaccine, absolutely not at all.
Okay, if I just translate that a little bit in Punjabi as well. So Michelle ne sanu dassiya haiga ki MMR the vaccination actually is very safe, and oda autism de naal actually link nahi haiga. Ek study sigi jene propose kita siga ki MMR the autism de naal link haiga ya, but actually it's proven that there is no link between MMR and autism, and the vaccination is actually quite safe. And the other thing Michelle explained to us ki jidda asi jadon कोई बीमारी डायग्नोस हुंदी आ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਦੋਂ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ what else happened ਕੀ ਹੋਰ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ symptoms notice ਹੋਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਹਨਾ so MMR could have been offered around the same time ਜਦੋਂ autism maybe trends appear ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ child ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ so that could be the case but actually there is absolutely no link between MMR and autism. Thank you, Michelle. So could you tell us about the vaccination schedule for babies and young children?
Yeah, I mean, any new mother, any new parent knows that we do give a lot of vaccines to the children, and that's with good reason.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so for a child in their first year of life, they can receive quite a number of vaccines. So we start the programme at 8 weeks old, and they get like a 5-in-1. So instead of having 5 different vaccines, they'll have a combined vaccine, which is diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, which is whooping cough, polio, and Hib influenza, and they'll have that as one vaccine, and along with that they'll also get a pneumococcal vaccine as well. Then throughout the year they will continue to get that vaccine again, and they'll have further doses of Menc and pneumococcal. So ultimately they'll end up with 3 lots of diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, polio and Hib given as one vaccine. Yeah, 2 lots of Menc and 2 lots of pneumococcal, and that will give them quite a good amount of protection for the first year of life.
Okay. And what about after the first year of life, in the second year?
Yeah, in the second year, that's when we introduce MMR, measles, mumps and rubella. Yeah, because up until that point, maternal antibodies will still be in the baby's body. So they will get some protection up to about 9 months. But from 12 months, we see that going down. So we give the babies their first MMR, and we also give them a booster of Hib and Menc, and that will give them protection then, particularly well into their adulthood.
Sure, okay. And does the NHS vaccination program finish at 2 years of age? Or, I mean, I think there is a preschool booster as well.
Yes,
and do the children receive any vaccination when they're in the school system, actually?
Yes, yeah. Preschool booster. It's called preschool booster. When the child's about 3 years, 4 months old, they then have another booster. Yeah, and it's a booster of diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis and polio again. And then they will also then receive their second MMR as well.
Right, okay. So, and then do we have, I'm aware a little bit about, there are a couple of vaccinations offered in the school as well.
Yes.
Are they offered to teenage group of children?
Yeah, but we call it a teenage booster or school leavers booster.
Okay.
So when the child's perhaps in around year 10, year 11, leaving school, they'll get offered another booster then.
Okay.
And that should provide them quite a long period of protection, at least for about 10 years.
Right, okay.
But second to that, all girls are offered at year 8 the HPV vaccine as
Okay.
well, which is a very good vaccine. It's excellent. It's been introduced in this country for the last 4 years,
Okay.
and that will protect the girls against cervical cancer.
So it's quite important
It's a very
for
important
you know, for
vaccine.
girls to
Yeah,
have that as well.
definitely.
So Michelle ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਸਕੇਡਿਊਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਸੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਆਪਣੀ ਹੋਰ ਪੁੱਛਣੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਜੀਪੀ ਤੋਂ ਅਰਾਊਂਡ ਕਿ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਏਜ ਤੇ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੱਗਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ ਬੇਬੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਐਂਡ ਈਵਨ 올ਡਰ ਚਿਲਡਰਨ ਐਜ਼ ਇਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟੀਨੇਜ ਚਿਲਡਰਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਕੂਲ ਨਰਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਪੀ ਜਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਨਰਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਰ ਦੇ ਕੈਨ ਆਸਕ ਫॉर ਮੋਰ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ,
Yes,
isn't it?
absolutely.
Okay. Now we know the schedule for children who are born on around full term or at full term.
Yeah.
What about premature babies? How does the vaccination schedule work for premature babies?
Yeah, it's a very good question. And now premature babies are actually very vulnerable.
Sure.
So it's really important that we get them vaccinated on time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a baby born 4 weeks early, we will vaccinate them when they get to 8 weeks old,
Okay.
exactly like if they were born born at the right time.
Okay.
Yeah, so we vaccinate them 8 weeks from the date that they were born.
So it's
Yeah, we stop
important to have that in mind. So 8
Yeah.
weeks is the crucial period, I guess.
Yeah,
Not actually when the baby is born.
Yeah, not from their expected date of delivery,
Okay.
when they should have been delivered. From when that baby's born, that's when we start the programme. So it'll be
Okay.
8, so they'll get their first vaccine, just as they would have done if they were full term and delivered, at the right
Okay.
time. And that's important because the babies, they're more vulnerable, they're more at risk. So actually, we need to get them protected in line with everybody else.
Okay. Michelle ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ premature babies ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ 8 ਵੀਕ ਤੇ ਸਟਿਲ ਫਰਸਟ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੋਚਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ premature ਸੀਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੱਲੇ ਮਤਲਬ full term ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ 8 weeks ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਰਸਟ ਡੋਜ਼ ਮਿਲਣੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। But again, if you have any questions about that or if you want to clarify that, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ GP ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਂ practice nurse ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। Thank you, Michelle. If somebody recently came to England and they lived elsewhere before, now we know that people move around a lot these days, and they're not sure about what vaccinations they might have had in their previous country where they were living, what do we do in England about that?
Yeah, I mean, I get about 2 or 3 calls a week around this very issue.
Really?
So it's a common occurrence. We get people travelling, they're coming in all the time.
Yeah.
Now, for some people, if they've had a record of their vaccine and they haven't completed the course, then that's quite easy.
Okay.
We just pick up where they left off in their country, wherever it was, and we just vaccinate what
Okay.
they haven't had. In some cases, we get people who come into the country and they have no record of a vaccine, and they'll say, I did get vaccinated, but I don't know what I had and I don't know when I had it. In those instances, it's safer then just to restart the schedule because
Okay.
we have no record and we don't know what they've had.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely quite safe to do so. So
Okay.
even if they've had their diphtheria, their Hib or whatever, and we've repeated it, it's not going to cause any problems or any cause of concern to the patient.
So if based on their age they've missed maybe the first or the second dose,
Yeah.
you will introduce the third dose for that child
yeah,
then?
providing we've got documentary evidence.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We won't restart it if we've got the
Okay.
evidence. Yeah.
Okay. I think this is also important to really, share with our viewers that ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ recently England ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿਣ ਲਈ ਆਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਸੀਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੰਟਰੀ ਚ ਕੈਨੀਆ ਵਗੈਰਾ or any other country ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ and ਤੁਸੀਂ sure ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ vaccinations ਉੱਥੇ ਲਵਾਈਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਆਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ, so please go and speak to your GP and practice nurse again about it and ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਕੇ sure ਹੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ vaccinations ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਆ। ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ record ਹੈਗਾ ਆ previous country ਦਾ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖਤਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉੱਥੇ vaccination ਲੈਣੀ, ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ next vaccination ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਫਿਰ offer ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਊਗੀ, so where you left off it will be picked up
Yes, yeah,
when you are in England then.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Now, sometimes parents make a choice, conscious choice, that they do not want their kids to be vaccinated, and it's obviously their, choice to do that. What happens if they later on possibly change their mind?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully we don't get very many people who refuse to be vaccinated.
Right,
So that's
okay.
good. But on the odd occasion, we do get parents who say, "Well, actually, I don't want my child vaccinated at this time," and that's fine. We don't. If they ever then want to reinstate that child and get them revaccinated, we can easily put them back on the system.
Okay.
And that's not hard to do at all. Yeah.
So will you then, for example, pick that child up in terms of what is the relevant vaccine for their age at that time?
Yeah, what we do, we look back then, because if they come to us in a few years' time, we realise they haven't had a number of vaccines, then actually we will catch them up and bring them to where they should be in the schedule. Yeah.
And like you said, it's not very common though.
It's not common. We don't get very many people refuse to be vaccinated. On the vast majority of people wants to be vaccinated because it offers
Sure.
very good protection.
Well, I guess it's good that people aren't refusing
yes,
in mass
yeah.
numbers, because that just means that people are aware, I guess.
Exactly,
That
yes.
vaccination is, a
Very
good
important.
supportive
Yeah.
system really for yourselves.
But it's a very easy system. If they refuse and they want it at a later date, they can easily ring up the GP, their health visitor, and
Okay.
and get the the appointment instigated.
Okay. Now we know there has been some kind of confusion around the BCG vaccination. Who's offered that? Who's not offered that? Who should be having it? And are people being missed for the BCG vaccination? Does every newborn baby in England get offered the BCG vaccination?
Yeah. No, not everybody does. Since 2005, there's been a change to the programme, so it's no
Okay.
longer given in schools. But the neonatal programme, that continues.
Okay.
And what we do, we give it to children who come from in the at-risk countries. So it's children who are born to parents or grandparents from areas in the world that have a high incidence of TB.
Okay.
Now, when we say high incidence, we're talking by World Health Organization standards about 40 cases of TB per 100,000 population.
Okay.
So, and we're talking places of say India, the sub-Saharan, Africa, those kind of places.
Okay.
And then they will get offered that at birth, and that will
Okay.
be offered to them whilst they're still on the ward.
So Michelle ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ BCG ਦੀ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਆ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਫਰ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੇਬੀਜ਼ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੋਰਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, but it's offered to ਜਿਹੜੇ every child born to a parent or grandparent ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਜਾਂ ਅਫਰੀਕਾ ਤੋਂ the high risk countries ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ TB ਜਿੱਥੇ prevalent ਹੈਗੀ ਆ. So all ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ communities ਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆਪਣੀ community ਚ ਲੋਕ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ BCG ਦੀ vaccination will definitely be offered at birth, isn't
Yes,
it? Yes. Okay. So moving on to something very specific, Michelle, whooping cough. Recently, we've heard in the news nationally that there has been 11 deaths in babies with whooping cough, and one of them was actually locally in the Black Country area. Last month, whooping cough vaccination has been also introduced for pregnant ladies. Could you tell us a little bit more about this vaccination and, how does this play a role in whooping cough?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite important, Gershran. As previously alluded to, the primary vaccination course that we give to children does include the whooping cough.
Yes.
And it's important they get it. But as you've said, what we have found nationally, we've seen 11 babies unfortunately die.
Okay.
And these children were perhaps too young to be vaccinated. They
Sure,
were all like
okay.
less than 8 weeks. So the best way of protecting those babies is to get the mums vaccinated.
Okay.
Now, if the mums are vaccinated in their last few weeks of pregnancy, from 28 weeks onwards, they will then start to develop antibodies that they will then pass on naturally to their babies, and then that will give the baby some protection until they're vaccinated at 8 weeks old.
At 8 weeks old,
Yeah.
okay. Nationally, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ 11 recently 11 deaths ਹੋਈਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ whooping cough ਦੇ ਨਾਲ babies ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, and ਇਹਨਾਂ ਚੋਂ ਇੱਕ actually locally Black Country ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਸੀ. So whooping cough ਦੀ last month ਤੋਂ Department of Health ਨੇ introduce ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈਗੀ vaccination for pregnant women, ਤੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਇਹ reason ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ 8 weeks ਦੇ vaccination ਪਹਿਲੀ offer ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, sometimes the babies can pick up the symptoms of that prior to the 8-week mark. So the pregnant lady is offered the whooping cough vaccination, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ through ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ babies ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਉਹਦੀ protection ਪਹੁੰਚਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ through the antibodies, ਤੇ ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ 8 weeks ਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ whooping cough ਦੀ first dose through vaccination ਫਿਰ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ. So it's extra protection really that we're talking about, isn't it?
Definitely.
So it's quite important ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ 38 weeks ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ GP ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ if you haven't been offered that. Is that right?
Yeah, if you haven't been offered it by 28, you should be, the GP should be calling you soon to have the vaccine. And if you got to 28 weeks and you haven't been called, then really, you can ring up your GP and just say, and see if there's an appointment there waiting for you.
So would this be given at a GP's practice by the midwife or by the nurse?
Yeah, it's absolutely given at the GP's practice, and the practice nurse will give the vaccine.
Okay.
Yeah, and they can have it between 28 weeks and 38 weeks, but actually they can have it right up until the date they're due to deliver.
Right, okay.
Because if they have it at 39 weeks, that will still offer them some protection to the baby. And in some women who've probably never had a pertussis-containing vaccine or not had one recently, and then even if they've had the baby and the baby's very small, then it's probably a good idea for them to have the vaccine, and that will give them some kind of protection until the baby gets their vaccine at 8 weeks old.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously this is quite a recent trend that there has been an increase in the cases of whooping cough. Could you tell us a little bit about signs and symptoms of whooping cough, please?
Yes, I mean, when we say with recent trends, we do seem to see with pertussis, like every 4 years, we do kind of see cases, and we see it quite a lot in America as well. So we kind of know it is out there, but we are doing this proactive role to counteract the effects of it. But with signs and symptoms, there is that coryza or cold-like symptoms, like stuffy nose, and then there is that quite distinctive cough that gives you that whooping sound. And with small babies, you think that's not quite right. So what I would say to parents is, if they think their child has whooping cough or any kind of symptoms, then really to take them to the GP or their walk-in centre.
Okay. ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਸ਼ੈਲ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ whooping cough the signs and symptoms is actually cold with the with distinctive cough.
Yeah, and over a 3-week period, it's quite a long period.
Okay. So babies ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹਦਾ cough ਹੋਣੀ is quite uncommon, and ਜੇ babies ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ note ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ persistent cough ਹੈਗੀ for about 3-week period, and it's very distinctive with cold symptoms as well. So you should take your baby to the GP and have them checked out. Okay, to be on the safe side. Okay. Are there any side effects for the pregnant lady to have this whooping cough vaccination?
No, I mean, they've been given the whooping cough vaccine. It's an inactivated vaccine, so there's no live viruses in there, and they've been given it quite successfully to pregnant women in America, and it's quite safe to give. So no, there's no side effects more than the usual. You might get a bit of an achy arm, and that's about it really now. It's
okay. Is there any final message, Michelle, you would like to add for our viewers today?
Yeah, I mean, just to understand that being vaccinated is very important, and I mean, next to like clean water, it's one of the best public health initiatives that can be given. And for us in the UK, it is free, and it's really good if we can, uptake the vaccines. What I would say, if you have got an appointment coming through and you're not able to make it, then by all means do ring the GP. Sometimes we get people who move homes quite frequently, and we can't seem to chase them up or find them. So if you do find that you move home, please let your GP or your health visitor know. And when you do get an appointment for a vaccine, then please do all that you can to try and attend.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Michelle ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ final note ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹੀ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ recently move ਹੋਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, it's very, very important to notify your GP of your new address and contact number, because ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ appointment ਕੋਈ due ਹੋਵੇ for vaccination, then it's difficult ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਲੱਭਣ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ move ਹੋਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਹਨਾ? ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ appointment ਆਵੇ vaccination ਦੇ ਲਈ and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਈ appointment attend ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ, it's very, very important to actually contact your practice and ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ to reschedule kar sakte your appointment. So rather than missing your appointment, it's actually quite it's a better idea to reschedule your appointment to make sure that you don't miss your vaccination that's offered to you. And it's free vaccination, like you said, isn't it?
Yes, the government pays for it.
There is no cost for it.
Yeah, and I think the thing is with them ensuring that you let the GPs know, because what we do have a list of children waiting to be vaccinated,
Okay.
and what we don't want are very small children waiting to be vaccinated because people haven't said they're not attending or we can't find them. So it's to give everybody the equal opportunity. So please
Sure.
just make sure you attend.
Okay, thank you very much for listening to our show on vaccinations today. ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੋਰ ਪਤਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਜਾਂ ਪੁੱਛਣੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਿਸ਼ੈਲ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਪਹੁੰਚਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਮੇਰਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈਗਾ 07969630399 ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ